The daily grind is back. I was trying to sing "Get Sexy Back," but I don't. I didn't know how to do all the parts, and I didn't want to sing bad, so I'm just going to say what I was doing. Welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Luke Hatmaker, and I'm not going to ruin your ears today.
You gave up on that one quickly.
Well, dude, I saw where it was going.
Real quick.
I saw it, y'all. I saw you both being like, not knowing what it was, and I was like, we're just going to nip it in the bud. Shout out JT if you saw the concert. I know Rusty was there over the weekend, but welcome to the Daily Grind. I've got Parrish and Uncle Buck with me today. How we doing, boys? We doing good? Good weekends?
Man, doing good, man. The Titans actually won the game. I'm doing good. I'll work the week for me. Well, I'll put it this way. As a fan, yes, do I want another quarterback? Sure. But hey, I'm tired of seeing losing every week too.
Hey, I'm with you. Listen. Will Levis threw a couple passes yesterday that no one else in the NFL can throw. Like, what if he could clean up the easy stuff? Boy, that deep ball is sexy, man.
Him and Anthony Richardson, they the same. They do the same.
Yeah,
they make some passes that you like. They make some play passes you be like, dang. But then it's simple stuff.
They, I mean, this is I could talk about NFL all day, but we'll talk. Both those dudes, I've never seen a quarterback that has such like a guns. They both seem like gunslingers in the same way that Favre was. You know, where he would just throw that sucker like way down the field, and then also throw a pick six that you've never seen before in your life.
Right.
Pretty great. But enough about football. Let's talk about the Grizzlies because the Grizzlies won over the weekend. They beat the Chicago Bulls 142-131 in a game that saw Scottie Pippen Jr. put up a 30 burger, which is awesome. I mean, it's always good. It's great for him when it's in Chicago. I don't know. Well, let's start with you, Parrish. What jumped out to you in this win? What was the best favorite thing?
Scottie Pippen Jr. and Jalen Wells. And Jalen Wells, you know, the rookie of the year race, looking at the rookie ladder every week. He was still number 2 last week, but Dalton Connecticut just had a 37-point game and a 27-point game. He was at number 3 right behind him, right? Jerry McCain is ahead of him. He had a week where he had like 30, 27, 34, right? So it was like, Jalen Wells, we need you to have some type of performance like that.
Yeah.
But you keep up because I don't think they stop anytime soon, especially with Philly's injuries. And Dalton Connecticut just getting green light for the Lakers right now, right? So
yes, him
getting there, 20? I think he had 26 or 28 points against the Bulls. So that was really good to see. He hardly missed a shot. Made majority of his three. I think he hit 5 or 6 threes. So shout out to Jalen Wells for that. And Scottie Pippen Jr., you return to the arena where your pops,
man,
won all those championships, one of the greatest players of all time. And you have a stat line similar to him. Like, so Scottie Pippen's first start of the season, he had a triple-double. And that was the first time father-son duo had triple-double in NBA history. Then you return to United Center and you have 30 points, 10 assists, and 80% shooting. That hasn't been done in the United Center since Scottie Pippen.
It's awesome. It's awesome, man. Like I'm glad that like Bronny's in the G League now because this seems like the father-son duo that everybody's focusing on, rightfully so, because what Scottie Pippen Jr. is doing is really, really impressive. And I mean, how he was 13 of 16 from the field, 3 of 6 from deep against Chicago. Well, I mean, that's awesome. Along with dishing out 10 assists. I mean, that's starting point guard material right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was really good. And that is the overwhelming story. But to hit on stuff that you guys didn't hit on, because Parrish hogged all the good ones. I was really impressed with Brandon Clark. I've ridden the Brandon Clark roller coaster all year long. I've said last week that as much as I try to see the point Taylor Jenkins is trying to make, and while everybody else tries to hate him, I try to understand him. The thing that would make me yell and scream the most and be totally out of him is the fact that Brandon Clark still has a green light to shoot threes. He took none on Saturday night against the Bulls, but yet there is no better shot for Brandon Clark than a drive when he drives and jumps straight up in the air and hits that little floater. I feel like he shoots that with 95% accuracy, and it's never in jeopardy of being blocked. Like, it's always wide open air and a little 8 to 10 foot floater. I love it. I think that his game, I mean, he went 6 of 6. So he had another perfect night shooting. And I'm pretty sure all 6 of those were putbacks or floaters. There was no jump shots taken. And it just felt natural. And there were no threes taken, which is really the only requirement for basketball to be on the court. The team, now this is what I say, and what me and Rusty yell about each other about when he wants to talk about rotations in a Grizzlies loss. The Grizzlies in the Lakers loss, they shot 50% from 3 on 40 attempts, and we were going to lose that anyways. In this game, the Grizzlies were not going to get beaten this game because the Grizzlies as a team shot 57% from the field and 45% from 3 on 42 attempts. We were just not losing that game. So Taylor Jenkins was obviously very frustrated with the defense because that Chicago team did score 131 on us, and that should be addressed probably. But there was no chance that Chicago was beating us that night, and anybody is going to beat the Grizzlies, or really any team, if you're going to shoot 45% from 3 on 42 attempts.
Yeah. I am going to mention rotations. I'm sorry. You like
that's okay.
You are talking like one. I agree with you. Like when you shoot the lights out like that, you're not going to lose. I also was really fond. I think it's going to be difficult to lose when you only play 7 guys over 23 minutes. I think it's going to be. I think that is really when you trim it down. And granted, what worries me, well, maybe not even a worry, but the past 2 games with these injuries, maybe 3 games, we've been forced to play roughly 7 or 8 guys, and that's it. We're getting a lot of guys back tonight. It looks like for the Blazers are going to be in town tonight. It looks like Ja's listed as questionable, which means he's probably playing. And then Marcus isn't even on the injury report. So
people can be quiet about them cookies.
Yes, man, I've never seen cookies dominate a street like a Twitter stream.
If we're being honest, can you imagine a more tone deaf like social media post? Like that is what this is about. Like it's about the continuity between dude's been out for a week and a half because he's sick and he's passing out a tray of cookies to employees.
It's like, guys, time that picture a little better, man. That's all we're asking. Yeah, make it look better.
Use a different picture.
Speaking of Marcus, who do we think starts tonight? Like, do you think the rotation's going to balloon out again? Do you think we're going to have a 10-man rotation? Do you think we're going to? So Drew thinks we are. What do you think, Parrish?
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have.
Think we are.
It's 9, 11-man rotation, but
maybe 12.
I don't know. I'm tired of trying to guess the starting lineup. I try and guess. I say it's gonna be Jades. He's been keeping Jalen in there. We're gonna see. That's gonna be the true test. Is he gonna start Marcus when now he got both Ja and Bang back? Is he gonna start Marcus, or you gonna keep Jalen in there? That's gonna be the question right there. Then Jaren at BC.
Yeah. So when Marcus came off of injury last time, he came off the bench. And so did Bane. So I'd be shocked tonight if Jalen Wells isn't in the starting lineup. And listen, I said it on our show the other day, and I said it kind of in the comments of Grizz 901 on I guess the Sixers game. I'm wondering about this sickness. And maybe I'm just, being a little bit funny, but when it comes to close to trade deadline, there's always these players that are out for soreness or whatever, because they're just like on the market. There's been lots of rumors swirling that we hear about Marcus Smart, and to be out for a week and a half with an illness is pretty wild to me. Like it just doesn't seem to match up, and maybe I'm just being weird, but I don't know. I just don't get it. It seems fishy to me. He was on the bench on Saturday, and then Taylor Jenkins said he needed to condition. Like he needed to get his conditioning up. And I was like, bro, what'd you have? Like the flu? Like
wait, to be fair,
I get it.
To be fair, he does it almost for every single injury. Players be ready to be like, they gotta wrap up.
Well, no, I get it. I get that.
Because Jaren returns the game late for that reason.
Yep. Do we I
I was about to say, like, so Drew was calling it out, like, how the players be faking injuries in college football. That's
Yeah.
what they remind me of.
Oh God, do
Yeah.
I mean, okay? So, quick, do you think we win tonight? Like with the
We better.
not
I
question.
hope so.
Do you? I mean, because this Portland team is playing better than the last time we beat them. I would say.
Yeah, I took a peek at their record. I was like, oh, they 7-10.
Right? I didn't. I was expecting them to be much worse. And so I don't know. 7-10 made me pause. I had a little pause for concern more so than I normally would. I still expect us to beat them, but I don't want to fool around when we have all our guys back and get fancy and then let this one get away from us. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, they have 4.
They won on Saturday against the Rockets in Houston.
Yeah. That's a good win.
Their last few games, so we saw them and we beat them like a drum. 134-89. Since then, they beat the T-Wolves twice.
Yeah, I remember that.
In Portland. They beat the Hawks in Portland. They lost by 10 at Oklahoma City. Lost by 28 at Houston, and then the next night won by 6 at Houston. So they're figuring it out. And what's happened is, like, I don't think DeAndre Ayton's playing, and Klingon has been absolutely amazing. I saw I think that last Houston game, he had 0 points and 19 rebounds, and I just listen. Well, we were all right about him that wanted him.
Yeah. I think he's the real deal. It does. I need double. It looks like Wayno is saying that. I mean, if this is the case,
who's tonight, Murray? Keegan Murray's brother.
It is. Yeah, it's his brother. I don't remember his name.
Okay. It's Starbreak K. I can't take over right now.
Kyler Murray.
No,
no.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. If those guys are out, I feel better. Like
Chris Murray.
I just think that the Grizzlies are the better team, and good teams beat bad teams. As simple as that is. I hope we blow this team out. I think we've got more talent. I'm worried about seeing all those players play. I've enjoyed so much this trimmed down roster, like with people being hurt. I've really loved seeing 7 or 8 guys play a lot. I just hope. I hope we don't I really just hope we're able to stay focused, have a more focused attack on offense, more focused attack on defense with the ball, with more guys out there,
I think instead of doing like Taylor Jenkins always wants to, he keeps saying, like, he says things like, oh, we're going to get there. We're figuring it out. We're trying some things and whatnot. If you're dead set on playing 12 players, play 9 players tonight, and then cycle out 3 of those players and play 9 more the next night. Like, I don't want to see 13 players play. And it's a good problem to have, but at some point, like, we're 17, 18 games into the season. I'm ready to see what we're going to look like. And coming down the stretch, we are not going to be playing 13 guys. I saw Steve Kerr, of all people, kind of provided a little bit of an excuse for Taylor Jenkins, because Steve Kerr, I don't know if y'all saw, he was like, I don't know, mate. I think we're going to play 11 guys all season. I think that's the NBA of the future. And I was like, good Lord, don't let Taylor Jenkins see this, because it's just about clean rotations, and it's about keeping your guys, good players on the floor, and having chemistry. And when we introduce new players in here and the other players get injured, we have no chemistry, and that's when we lose games.
Yeah. I would say for tonight, as long as Ja Morant, he is questionable. This was like the first year I've seen players be questionable and miss a game. Usually they upgrade for doubtful the questionable they're playing, but I've seen questionable players miss games this year. So it's not a given that he's going to play. They probably going to say game time decision when I get to the reading tonight. But as long as he plays, I just think his return, that energy, him, Bane, and Jaren being on the court, this is their only 3rd game this year that they'll be on the court. I think just that. I think that energy with those 3 together back And hopefully they all can stay healthy for a longer period of time as well going forward. I just think that will get them over the top. And they have a 4-game homestand against under 500 teams. This is a perfect time to get a winning streak going.
100%. And more so than that, I'm gonna get the exact stat. I had it written down. I think they've only played like 18 minutes together.
Yeah, because Bang got hurt in their freaking game in the first half.
So it's like they've only played 3 games together, but in those 3 games, 18 minutes. Like I think you hit the nail on the head, Perry. Like if Ja plays, they are not going to lose a Ja Morant return game. They just the energy alone will carry them to. Like you're right about that.
I don't think they'll be that close to win return.
If Ja comes back, I really need to see Desmond turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
He's been really bad this year, with the exception of 1 or 2 games. No, he's had big games, but then he keeps going back to this. I wish I had the stats pulled up, but I think he's shooting in the 20% on 20-something% on threes this year, and he hadn't had his shot. And
yeah, he'll get better. I've seen the year.
Oh, I agree.
It was 1 year Klay Thompson started off the season shooting like 21% in the first 20 games. And end of the season, he was back to 45. So I think that's
to be frank, just to clear the air, he's going to get better. I'm just ready. Like I have no.
Just ready for it now.
I'm just ready. I want to see it.
This ain't Brandon Clark.
Yes. Good. Yes. So moving off the game tonight, I think we all expect us to win. One thing that will certainly assist in trimming down the rotation, should the trigger ever be pulled on it, would be trading someone. Over the weekend, it was I guess it was Friday. On Friday, I guess Clutch Sports, I believe it was Clutch Sports that I saw have it. They said that due to, here we go. I got it. Brett Siegel of Clutch Points. He said, the emergence of Scottie Pippen Jr. and rookie Jalen Wells has league personnel wondering if the Memphis Grizzlies would consider moving former Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart. I spent all morning looking at all that report came out Friday. Every team and their mama is releasing, like, their writers are like, oh, I would love him. I'll take him. And that people are already throwing trade packages together. Do either of you, A, do you think we will, and B, would you want to move on from Marcus Smart? I think I would obviously trim the rotation down depending on who you brought in.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
You think it'd be a 2-for-1 and we would get 2 and we would have more problems?
Nah, I think it could be like we trade 2-for-1, but the thing is, the person you're bringing back, hypothetically, if you're trading Marcus Smart, you're bringing back somebody that's going to play. We already 13 deep, so we just go down to 12 deep. It's not going to – it would trim down the meantime until Gigi get back, but it was still – it won't solve your problem rotation-wise, but it could help better fit your team, if that makes sense.
100%. What do you think, Uncle Buck?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Parrish on that one because there's no – I mean, unless you're talking blockbuster trade with multi-team trade, that's the only way you can see like a – send a couple 3 players out, get 1 player back or whatever. Honestly, if you want to consolidate the rosters, like if you could just give us all your 2nd-round picks, we'll give you Marcus Smart, and then we would just stack a super team of 2nd-round picks that we seem to do so well. Like we've got to figure out a way. And ultimately, we're making excuses. We're trying to solve the problem for Taylor because I love having a deep team, but you just got to play less people, you know. And I've said, while I say this consistently while also defending him, but you're just going to have to play less players. That's the problem. You're going to have to play less players, and I get that. Jake LaRavia is great, and Jake LaRavia is having an all-time season, and Jay Huff and all these guys are having all-time seasons, but they're just not going to be able to play. And he's going to have to be okay with that. Like, you can't just trade off good players for bad players just so your coach doesn't play them.
The main thing you're pretty much saying, really, Terry Jenkins need to learn how to make in-game adjustments, because in that same sense, you can be, let's say you're struggling in offense and Jay Huff hasn't played. All right, Jalen Huff can get buckets in the snap of a finger. All right, let me put him in there to get you a bucket, to get you some quick buckets. But that don't mean you have to try and play him every single game.
Yes,
you look at
Yes.
It's just kind of having the stones to do it. Because I feel like he's not an idiot. Like nobody thinks he's an idiot.
He's
although
a really smart
a lot
guy.
of people that
Yeah.
that yell at him as if he doesn't understand what he's doing. I think he gets it. But you see what happened. Charles Lee benched LaMelo Ball the other night in a close game because LaMelo sucked. Like that takes a lot of stones to do that to your superstar player, and it's a call that's got to be made on the fly. I want to see that he's got the guts enough to do that with just being like, listen, player X, like Santi, you don't have it tonight. You ain't going back in. We're rolling with Huff because Huff's hitting every shot. You're not. Or, Bane has stunk. And so in certain games. And so if he was just like, you know what, we're going to roll with this guy. And I don't think he should ever do that with Bane. But just as an example, we're going to put you on the bench. We're going to roll with this guy. And it's not just like, oh, well, it's time. Sheet says it.
Sheet says it. Yeah.
He's got to get rid of that sheet. Like, I'm sorry. It gives ammo to every single person that hates you. Because if we see you looking at that sheet and like an offensive coordinator trying to figure out what you're going to do next.
Yep.
Oh, you've got to get rid of that sheet. And it's giving ammo to your enemies here. And it's so bad.
It reminds me of Matt Patricia, and not in a good way. Matt Patricia used to come out there with that laminated thing with a pencil and try to write on it. And you can't do that. And I swear to God, if Taylor Jenkins comes out there and tries to write on that sheet with a pencil, fire him on the spot, because that you just don't do that. Get that sheet. Get that sheet out of his hands. That sheet is so annoying. And he always pops the lid off that pen. Why did you bring that sheet up? I went days without thinking about that shit.
And why he got the little push pen instead of the
one?
He was over here just like sharpen, like somebody sharpen my pencil.
Dude, pencil sharpeners are dangerous.
And again, I'm the only one I feel like on the island that thinks he's a good coach and that he has a lot of value on this team because of his relationship with his players. But good Lord, you've got to get rid of that sheet and you've got to come to rotation.
To be fair, I don't think most people think he's not a good coach. We just don't think he's a great, good to great. We don't think he could take the step to be great. I think that's the thing.
I'm of the opinion that there's not many great coaches.
That is true too.
100%.
So,
that is true too.
Be careful what you wish for, because if Taylor Jenkins gets fired, it's very well. You could have a Doc Rivers situation on your hands.
Or shoot, like Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is a guy that people thought was great, and he's over there.
I still think he's good.
I think he's good too. But
they like us last year. They like us last year.
Yep. So real quick, gun to your head, is Marcus Smart on this team after the trade deadline?
I say no. I think it's been too much smoke from the summer to now.
Yep.
And what Drew said earlier about the illness last week, I don't think so. It's looking very likely he's not.
I'd put it at like 6. I'm not very convinced, but I would say more likely than not he's not here. Just he's the one you can get something for out of that wing department,
And there's been a lot of, lots of tea leaves. Like Parrish said, all the smoke going back into the summer. Like, if you just look into that, it just seems it's going to be extremely coincidental if all that stuff has been spread out for the better part of, at that point, it'll be 7-8 months. And it's like, is this thing a baby in the womb? We just need to get it out of here. I agree with you guys. I think it'll be, sorry, not like that. Jesus. No, I meant give birth. God, Drew. I meant get it out of here. Get it, birth it. Jesus. We're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, you ruined it. When we get back, we're going to talk about the weekend a little bit. We're going to talk about Mondays and lasagna. I had a good weekend. I saw Gladiator 2. I want to hear what you guys did, but we'll be right back after this quick break.
I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. He got them in for sure. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do, whether that's setting screens or just whether blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots or just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. They gotta use him though, man. They gotta be able to find him a little bit.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like, because I think that lob that y'all had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like The whole first quarter, I did peep that. It was like, I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right.
Y'all got to find a way to give Zach Edey something. Like at some point, everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's gonna come a stretch of time where they're gonna be stagnant, and at that time, that's when I expect them. Okay, hey, let's run the post play to Zach Edey.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
This is a question I don't know if you've ever been asked. Was there anyone you ever wanted to dunk on? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you haven't getting a big kick out of that one. I'm glad you've been waiting all day for that. Just waiting all day to get that little jokey joke in. Oh, you got a joke. But yeah, I always wanted to dunk in the game. That's what I wanted to do. And it didn't have to be on anybody. I wanted it to be off of a missed shot, like on an offensive rebound, so that everyone's around or in the vicinity when it happened.
Did you ever dunk in practice and get overly excited?
Yes. and everybody be like, well, are you going to do it in a game? I'm like, no.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Look what I just made in that break. You can catch. Wow. Hey, I typed that out, man. You wanted a banner. I got you a banner. You can catch that show. You can catch Night Court. The Night Court podcast is every Wednesday. Catch Anthony Sane Show. That's going to be every Wednesday and every Friday. You can catch the No Bluffing Boys, No Bluffing podcast. That's typically on Monday, sometime today. Grizz 901 Live will be after every game, weekday game. The late night with Chris and Sane, that's after that. Did I miss one? Oh, $2 Sports Show. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Hey, everyone, so
Headed to work.
I was like, I'm doing so good. I was like, yes. And the $2 Sports Show every Friday. They went live this past weekend. It was awesome. Are you guys going live again this week? Probably not.
No, that's going to just be kind of like a surprise. We can't commit every single Friday at 3:00 right in the middle of the workday, but we're going to do it every once in a while.
Heck yeah, love it. But yeah, check that out at bluffcitymedia.co. But back to our show. On Mondays around here, we talk about what we did over the weekend in honor of Garfield the cat. He's everywhere around here. We talk about what we liked and what we didn't like. I'm a firm believer that it's important to acknowledge both the good and the bad, because you can't enjoy the good without acknowledging the bad. I don't think Garfield the cat had that in mind when he hated Mondays and loved lasagna, but it's my show. I can do it.
Hey, I love lasagna too. Lasagna's my favorite.
So good.
I'm with him.
Dude, yeah. So I can go first. My Monday is I'm home for the weekend. Like my lady, my kid, the dogs, they're gone all weekend. They went to Thanksgiving early. So it's just me and the two cats who are
took the
assholes.
dogs?
She took the dogs
She's
and left
coming
me
back?
there. She's coming back. Knock on wood. If she left me with the cats, man, I'm gonna be so upset because they are mean. They keep taking my Christmas tree topper off the tree. I don't know how they get up there. I've watched them and I don't know how to do it. But that's just been kind of sucked. I'm cool, but I'm not that cool. But my lasagna. I saw Gladiator 2 over the weekend. It was awesome. It was great. Denzel Washington is the GOAT. I think he should get an Oscar nomination because he's just chewing the scenery up in a good way. And I think Denzel's one of the best living actors. He can do Shakespeare. He can do modern drama. He can do everything. Remember the Titans, like the best sports movie of all time. And watching him do the Rome thing, it's just awesome. He killed it.
You can put him. You're like, oh, can this football coach actually also be in ancient Rome? Is like, Yes, and it looks right. It makes sense.
Honestly, a detriment to the movie. I was rooting. I didn't care about the Gladiator. I was like, give me the Denzel and Rome movie, just being like drinking wine and being like, I would have watched 3 hours of that. But that was my weekend. How about Parrish? How about you? What was the best part about your weekend and the worst part?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I can't even think of nothing worse.
That's
Part.
good.
Like this weekend was really good. I can't.
Yeah.
The worst it was where I had my wife wanted me to go with her to her hair appointment, but it didn't take long. We was sitting there maybe an hour. So we had to get things accomplished afterwards. So I was like, okay, we got the stuff accomplished. Thanksgiving shopping, so cool. So that shit worked out. But the best part, I mean, all my sports teams winning and getting help. Tennessee Vols won in football and got help with Alabama and Ole Miss losing.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Tennessee
Uncle
Titans.
We made it 30 minutes into the show without bringing it up.
Yeah, sorry, man, but
I'm glad that my Monday can be your lasagna.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I was actually, I was rooting for Ole Miss. I wanted Alabama losing. It was more I cared about. I want to see Ole Miss in the playoff, but hey, it helped us. And Tennessee Titans, like I said, kind of as a fan, you're in between. But anytime you beat a rival, especially Houston, all this stuff they were talking last year about the uniforms and stuff. Yeah, I love beating that team at their house.
Well, and to have guys like I got Tony Pollard on my fantasy team, and just to have dudes go killed it, man. Like Titans aren't a bad team.
Oh no, we have number one defense.
Number one defense, man. Like people are acting like I don't get it.
That's crazy. 3-8 with
the AFC South is the worst division in football.
Can
we all agree?
Yeah,
like
but
Jacksonville sucks. The Colts suck. The Titans suck. Then the Titans just beat the Texans, which is probably going to win the division.
Texans are overrated.
Yeah,
that was on that second game. That was on that second game against the division. So that means our defense was doing there against everybody but the division.
So it's just division the rest of the way?
Yeah, pretty much. We got 4 games. 4 of our last 6 against division.
Nice.
Tighten up. All right. My lasagnas, I got to hang out with family most of the weekend. My Mondays at almost last it's one of those things. It's like it's just not built for it. It's
sad.
Like everybody tries to get up, and I'm a fan. I'm going to get up, but time and time again, it's just like okay, you're just not built for it. This one's not on Dart either. I see a lot of Dart taking a lot of strays. Ole Miss fans are obviously not in a good spot right now, and Jackson Dart's taking a lot of blame for that. I don't put really any of it on Dart in this game. Yes, he was bound and determined to throw an interception on that last drive. They gave him 3 shots, and he threw 3 of them. But dude, we didn't back him up all game long. We had touchdown passes that were dropped. 2 of them. We had 3rd down conversions that were dropped that settled to a field goal, which our field goal kicker missed. The defense played good enough. DJ Lagway is going to be absolutely amazing. I don't know how much of that game y'all watched, but Ole Miss's pass rush is really freaking good, and they hit him all game long, but he would not go over. Like he would not fall down. Like, it just. Let Rusty have his moment. He's been in these comments all game long. You could add, his team has 5 wins this year, and only 2 of them are Mississippi State wins, and 3 of them are Ole Miss losses, and he's still not going to go to a bowl game. I mean, just let him have his moment.
The Egg Bowl is this week, right?
Yeah, the Egg Bowl's this week.
Y'all got to go live after that game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, we're not. This is the holiday season. We're not ruining it. And so there's just no chance. And I'm so sick of seeing like the guns for hire thing as if Alabama didn't just lose their 3rd game too. Like this isn't a money issue.
You're so bad.
That's why we need it.
Yeah, that's how I wanted to end the show. I'm sorry. Your torment is our pleasure.
I mean, that's fine. That's why you do this live. I mean, this is why you put yourself out there, right? So you just bear everything.
I appreciate
you. Can't hurt me. There's nothing left to be hurt. Like I watched that Florida game, and I went outside and had fun with my kids. Like you can't hurt me anymore.
That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to do it too.
Smart.
I did a long rant on a 2 cents after the LSU loss, where it was just like at some point you just got to quit expecting to win, and then you'll just enjoy wins and losses won't bother you. And listen, I saw how that first quarter, that Florida game went, and I knew we were losing. It looked like the LSU game. It looked like the Kentucky game, to where you just left too many points on the board early, and you were going to lose. You put yourself in a situation to where you could lose, and the team just doesn't have that moxie. Like, they don't have that killer in them. Last year's team won 10 games in the regular season, and they went like 6-0 in one possession games. Like, any game they could have lost, they won. And this year, any game you could have won, you lost. And it's just a closer's mentality that they don't have. And I put a lot of it on Kiffin. I put a lot of it on the OC, and it just, there was no execution. Like, this team was never going to win a national championship game. You know,
I love
it just
you.
sucks. Yeah, that's fine. I got it out of the way, and now I'm probably going to talk to Rusty when we record, and that's it.
Heard that.
We're
Well, you
going
guys,
to counseling.
you guys got to do my show Wednesday. I could be the mediator. Yeah. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Oh, you sick? You're sick. You're sick. I can see. That's gonna do it for our show today. Paris, you're gonna be in the. Yeah, he's doubtful. You're doubtful for the game on Wednesday. You're gonna be in the building tonight, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Dude,
all this week.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
Man, they're working you overtime this week. That's awesome. Good luck there, brother. Everybody have a good day at work. Everybody in the comments, thank you for hopping in. I guess Dashville, Rusty, Wayno, Alan. Alan was the one. Lots of guys.
Some
in there.
Spicy comments in here today. I don't know if y'all read them.
Spicy. I guess. I love it. It's Marcus.
Rather have Dylan Brooks over Marcus Smart kind of comments. Like,
I know.
We get banned from the chat for that.
Man, yeah, I'm experiencing PTSD now. Everybody, if you're experiencing PTSD, we're here for you. We do not want Dylan Brooks. I love everyone. Have a good day, everybody. If I can leave you with anything today, remember these two things. Remember just to be a little weird, and remember to smile. See you guys. Have a good Monday.